This is the view from a park bench overlooking the city to the south that I had in mind when I wrote the story Nosangreal. And you can see that it's a view from a place that isn't private property, so a vampire would not be excluded from it, although it's looking down on a lot of things that are private property. The view doesn't call attention to itself. There's a tendency when you're up there to look out over everything else. Look at all the buildings rather than look at the park itself. It doesn't have any reflective surfaces to speak of, except for the odd pond once in a while when we've had a particularly wet spell. So you tend to look out at the other reflective things around the city rather than at the park itself. It's an alternate form of worship for many people, nature worship, to go to a park. In North America particularly, we don't have any old cathedrals that were built in medieval Gothic times, and so our substitute for these tends to be our parks, where we go to get a feeling of spiritual uplift. Also, the park has a different microclimate from the area around it because it doesn't have the asphalt surfaces or as much of the heating brought about by people turning on their furnaces in the winter. It has a lot of green, or at this time of year, brown vegetation, which changes the way that the surface takes in sunlight. Also, it's an agency of the government, which by its nature is designed to take power from some people and give it back to others. This is a characteristic of Russian vampires.